Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allow your eyelids to close. That's it. Breathing in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allowing any feelings of stress and tension to slowly leave your body in your outward breath. That's it. Breathing in and breathing out. That's it. And just scan your body for any feelings of tension locked into the muscle tissue. And just imagine that that tension is melting away breath by breath. Feeling that it's okay to go deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a high-tech laboratory. I want you to imagine it's futuristic looking. And I want you to imagine that there you are surrounded by futuristic technology, and that there is the ability to create a clone of you. Maybe you could imagine stepping into a room, a chamber, and just imagine that technology is doing whatever technology is doing. And then what happens is you see someone that looks identical to you leaving the chamber. And I want you to imagine that a scientist is explaining that this clone doesn't have one key difference. And that key difference is that this version of you, this clone, embraces every element of who they are. They accept themselves 100%. They feel worthy exactly as they are. That they know that there is areas of improvement, but that doesn't stop them from radically accepting who they are and owning every single element of who they are, what they've accomplished, and every element of their life. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine imagining what it would be like to be that version of you. And the scientist explains that the technology they have in this futuristic laboratory enables you for just 24 hours to experience that reality. They send you back in the chamber. And then imagine you walk out the chamber not as who you were before, but as this new clone version of you. Feel how you would feel with no feelings of inadequacy at all. Imagine there's a mirror nearby and you look at it and you see yourself feeling 100% worthy, that you are good enough exactly as you are. And imagine that there is a watch on your wrist with a 24-hour timer. It's counting down. And the scientist says that in just 24 hours you'll need to return and go back to your old existence. But for now you have 24 hours to feel 100% worthy, to accept yourself 100%, to feel completely good enough exactly as you are. And I want you to imagine leaving that laboratory and going into life for you. And I want you to imagine what you would do to make the very best of this 24 hours. I want you to imagine seeing the person that you're in a relationship with and hearing about their accomplishments, or maybe seeing them play sport, or maybe hear them speaking in a different language. But notice that your inner dialogue has changed. There's just an appreciation, a curiosity, a feeling of deep relaxation that what they're doing bears no impact on who you are. And it feels refreshing, slightly strange, unusual, but good. I want you to imagine you're in a social situation, maybe drinks with lots of different people. Maybe you're hearing other people tell fascinating anecdotes and stories. And I want you to feel that it's okay for you to just listen. And if you want to talk, you can talk, and if you don't have to. But I want you to feel this radical authenticity. That who you are is completely okay. There is no need to pretend to be smarter than you are, more interesting than you are. There is no need at all to pretend that you have skills or abilities that you don't currently possess. There is no need to make anything about your life seem better than it actually is. And feel how natural and calm you can feel by sharing anecdotes or stories exactly as you are. And I want you to feel a feeling of liberation, that you can be in these situations and there's no need for pretense, no need to over-egg any puddings, no need to exaggerate or amplify. That you have the ability to simply be who you want to be. And that's okay. And you know that you can have things that you'd prefer to do differently. Maybe things you want to accomplish. But realize that that's the same for everyone else. That every single person has goals and dreams. But the fact that they haven't achieved those goals and dreams doesn't make them any less valuable in who they are. It just means that they're on a journey towards something just as you are. And I want you to scan your body for where you feel this feeling of worthiness, this radical self-acceptance. And just point to that location. If you can't feel it, just imagine where it would be. Remember, you're in the body of a clone. That's it. And I want you to imagine it's growing and getting bigger and more intense. This feeling of radical acceptance, worthiness. And I want you to imagine that you're about to do things that would require that worthiness and acceptance and authenticity to grow. I want you to imagine that you're now in a large venue, a big audience, and imagine there is an MC saying that they're looking for volunteers for comedy improvisation. And you're surprised as you see your hand raised and you walk up on that stage. I want you to feel that you're good enough to be up there. That the nature of this is that you can just do what you do, and if good ideas come, then they come, and if they don't, then they don't. If funny words come to mind, then they do, and if they don't, then they don't. And I want you to feel you've got this incredible feeling that why not? That you have what it takes. And I want you to imagine that there's different props, different scenarios, different roles to play. But because you're not trying to pretend to be someone you're not, you just embrace it. You start to have fun. You feel that the best thing you could possibly do is just be you in that situation. And I want you to feel that you are safe, that it is okay to just be you, that there aren't caveats, that it's not okay if you're you but more successful, or if you're you but smarter. I want you to accept the suggestion that it is safe to be you exactly as you are. And part of what makes you you is the desire to evolve and get better. But I want you to imagine that you're feeling what it would feel like to be on a stage in front of an audience and know that you're being judged and simply not care. I want you to imagine that someone throws out a heckle. And just imagine there's a witty retort, a comeback that has everyone in the audience laughing. Imagine how good it would feel to feel that you are 100% you. And then imagine it's the end of that improvisation show, there's a round of applause, you return, and I want you to feel an incredible feeling of acceptance that comes, that you can go outside of your comfort zone, that you can become wiser. I want you to feel that perhaps you're the wisest that you've ever been. In many ways, you're the most successful you've ever been. I want you to get this growing sense that you are the most well-traveled and worldly and experienced that you've ever been. That everything that life has thrown at you has meant that you're more aware than you've ever been. I want you to get a sense that there are goals and dreams that you have and you're driven and motivated to achieve them. But I also want you to accept that it isn't a requirement for you to be anything other than yourself in order to make progress and move forward. I want you to imagine that you're now heading back to the laboratory, and now you're seeing the original version of you, the version of you that for years hasn't felt good enough. And perhaps you've got a few hours to explain to them how it feels to have that realization that it's impossible to be the best at everything. There's this radical acceptance that if you accept that you're good enough, then it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy that you focus on all those things that give evidence that you are indeed good enough. But that the paradox is that you can also accept that good enough is a moving target, and that in so many areas of your life, of course, you can never be good enough. I want you to get a sense that the acknowledgement that in so many areas of your life, you can't win the game of intelligence. You can't learn everything that there is possible to learn. You can't see every city, every country, every culture in the world, even if you tried. So I want you to accept and to share with this original version of you, that the key to leaving this prison of unworthiness, the shame of inadequacy, is the realization that we're all inadequate. We're all good enough and not good enough at exactly the same time. We're all adequate and inadequate at exactly the same time. And it's all okay. I want you to feel like you're going back into that laboratory. The scientists are meant to have you swap places again. But something changes. Two different parts of you merge into one. And you end up leaving the laboratory as a single entity, with the ability to choose to feel inadequate or to choose to feel adequate. That you have the ability to choose to feel unworthy or to feel infinitely worthy. I want you to tap into this feeling that whereas in the past it felt that this was just life, now it feels like a choice. And I want you to realize that in order to feel inadequate, you have to make the evaluation that you are not enough. But I wonder what would happen if whenever you make the evaluation that you're not enough, you still accept yourself 100%, and then create perhaps a goal or a desire to improve. I want one hand, maybe your left or your right, to represent acceptance, and the other hand to represent drive and ambition, this desire to improve and get better. And for a while they've been competing with each other, a feeling that there is a zero-sum game, that if there is the ability to get better, then it means that you're not good enough. And that refusal to accept yourself has meant that you haven't enjoyed life as much as you could. And I want you to bring both hands up to that location where it felt like worthiness might exist. But allow the fingers to interlock of both hands, where acceptance can coexist with the drive to be better. That's it. And I want you to imagine a future where there is this happy balance, a desire to get better, while simultaneously accepting everything exactly as it is, owning the flaws, owning anything that in the past would be a source of shame or embarrassment or inadequacy, having the radical acceptance to embrace, accept, and own those things that felt shameful or unacceptable in the past. And when both parts are fully willing to accept what they can accept, with a drive to improve things in the future, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And just relax your fingers, relax your arms. Feel like you're returning to the present. That's it. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just feel like you're returning to the present as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.